Hey everybody, how you doing today? This is Tanner at the Leaf Performance Center. Thank you for checking us out at Valslide.com. Today we're going to go over some lunge progressions. So what I'll start off with is Valslide reverse lunge. So you're going to only have a Valslide on one foot here, and that's going to be your slide foot. I'm going to be actually driving off of the other foot. We'll call that my plant leg. So with a Valslide reverse lunge, you want to make sure that you have proper posture the whole time. That means I'm going to have my torso high. I like to say keep your head tall. You want to have your ear, shoulder, and hip all in a straight line throughout. And we're just going to drop back, tap this knee to the ground, and drive off the plant leg's heel. So we don't want to be muscling it up with the slide leg. We want to be coming up off the plant leg, driving through the heel. I'll knock out a couple for you guys to see here. So that's our first progression. That's the Valslide reverse lunge. Now the next one we're going to do is a side lunge. Once again, I'll use the same slide leg here. Same principles apply. I want to keep my chest high, and I want to be driving off the heel of the plant leg. To use a counterbalance to help you keep your balance, I like sticking my hands out in front here. Knock out a couple of those. Just make sure that you're not muscling it up trying to use the slide leg, okay? Then the next progression we'll do is a drop lunge. In this one, I'm gonna drop down and slide my slide foot behind my plant leg and to the back a little bit. We'll say it'll be about like 7 or 8 o'clock, something like that, okay? Once again, keep the chest high and drive off the heel of your plant leg. Now I'm going to reach back into my toolbox right here and pick up a dowel first. We're going to kind of layer on to some of these progressions I've showed you, make them a little bit more difficult and make it where we're making it a little bit more explosive and using the entire body. The first one we'll do is a sprinter. So it's similar to the Valslide reverse lunge, except that now I'm going to have the dowel, and when I go down, I'm going to touch the dowel to the ground, which kind of puts me in my sprinter position, hence the name, and then I'm going to explode up to putting the dowel overhead. Now, in my explosion phase, I want to make a big circle with the dowel as I come up. I'm not pulling it up my chest. So I'm driving off the plant heel and okay, now the dowel's a good start. It's a good way to get your balance doing it, kind of get used to the movement. But once you progress beyond that, you can also use something like a Viper or even some dumbbells and get the same work done with some load. So this really involves the core a lot and is a tough addition to any workout program. Now, another thing I can do to add loads, which is where you always want to be going. You always want to be pushing yourself to do something a little bit harder under control. You don't want to stay stagnant in your program. So I'll reach back to another tool here and we'll get a couple kettlebells. Now I'll be using the kettlebells to increase my load here, and we'll go back to the Valslide reverse lunge. Now one of the things you want to be really cognizant of when you add load to anything is how it changes your posture. So I don't want to allow the kettlebells to have me bend over or to have any spinal flexion. I want to keep my shoulders back and my chest out at all times. Now, I've showed you a couple ways to increase load on the reverse lunge. Now, let me show you how you can increase the intensity by getting a load on the side lunge. Hold it straight down, keep the chest out, shoulders back, and we're just going to drop the weight straight down below me. Don't let it swing out as you're doing it. You want to keep it close to your body, close to your center of gravity. Now, to involve the core, we're going to do an asymmetrical load. That means that I'm only going to have the load on one side. So as opposed to holding a kettlebell in two hands, I'm going to put one down, get the kettlebell on the same side as my slide foot. This is going to work my core a lot more to stabilize me. Now, I'll get at you from the front here. When I slide back, this load is wanting to pull my body this way. It wants to make me flex laterally. So my core is having to work to keep my shoulders square, and that's where all the hard core work comes in. So if I was gonna do this, I'm not only working my legs here, my core is having to work to keep me stabilized throughout the whole movement. So that's some lunge progressions. Thank you for checking us out at valslide.com. We got a lot more stuff for you. We appreciate you guys checking in with us.